Hi guys, this is my review and comparison of the Lasko 4443 hybrid fan, and I'm going to compare it in performance as well as airflow and sound against the Honeywell QuietSet HY290B. These are two of the most popular tower fans in the market currently, and let's see how they stack up against each other. As you can see, the Honeywell fan sits slightly taller. The fan base is slightly taller than the Lasko fan, and it's also slightly slimmer, so it's more useful in extra slim spaces. And the real difference about the Lasko fan, or why it's called a hybrid fan, is because it does not have a rotating cylinder attachment in its tower. All it has is a squirrel cage blower down below with two vents at the two sides. The squirrel cage blower is similar to what you find in your leaf blowers, so it has a much higher airflow compared to a rotating cylinder, and this whole section is empty. There's no moving part here, so it's just really this fan that's blowing all the air in it. It does have a nightlight that you can turn on and off, and it has three fan settings, 3 speeds, oscillation, nightlight, and power controls. Whereas the QuietSet has a lot of options. You can set the timer, you can even set the light intensity for the speed, and it has 8 different speed levels. But in practicality, it's not really that useful having that many speeds, and I'm going to show that to you shortly. And yes, the other thing I want to mention to you is that because this is a hybrid fan, you see here that there are 10 vents, 10 sections here in the fan, but the thing is that it only blows air out of the top 6. These bottom 4 vents are actually fake vents just for look. And the reason is because this is a squirrel cage blower. It has its hose right up till here at the top. So this is just a fake vent for looks. The fan sucks in air and the mechanism is right up till here. That's why you get a powerful blow. So that's something to keep in mind, but it really does not affect the airflow or how much air it pushes out, or even the width of the air column. It's about the same as this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the sound for how much they produce first. Okay, I am now sitting in my living room sofa, about the average distance that I'm going to use this fan for. And let's go ahead and test the sound quality, starting with the Honeywell. So this is the Honeywell at its top speed. I can feel a slight wind blowing. And if I reduce the speed, this is the lowest setting for the Honeywell fan, so it is quiet. Although you'd barely feel any air, I feel nothing at all at its lowest speed. Again, this is at top speed. Now let's take a look at the Lasko fan. So this is the Lasko fan remote. So this is the Lasko fan at its lowest speed, and as you might be able to hear, and I can feel right now, its airflow is much higher at its lowest setting than compared to the Honeywell fan. So even at its lowest setting, it is blowing more air at this distance on my sofa. Again, this is the lowest speed volume. Let me increase the speed. This is the highest speed, so it does get quite loud at the highest speed. What I found is at its medium speed, it is much more tolerable and has more airflow ever than the Honeywell has at its highest setting. So it does have really good airflow. And just to give you an idea of the airflow, I rigged up this device right now to test the airflow at a distance. So let me go ahead and show you the comparison. So let me turn on the Honeywell fan. So this is at its highest setting right now, and let's take a look at the airflow. So I'm going to keep walking back. So you can see that the airflow is slightly dying now at this distance, and it is less powerful at this stage. We'll see how far I can go. I'm gonna go further. Okay, so it dies around at the edge of the sofa. It's not really that powerful. Now let's look at the Lasko fan. Turn this one on. So this one is at its lowest setting. So let's see. You can see it's already, even at its lowest setting, it reaches at least up till the furthest the Honeywell fan can. And I can actually go further. I can feel the breeze here itself. Again, this is at its lowest setting. And if I increase it to its maximum, so as you can see, it does, at its maximum speed, it does blow air right up till this point. So it's much further than the Honeywell fan can. The Honeywell fan stopped right at the sofa, but for this one I can actually feel the breeze right up till here. There you go. It's not that powerful, but at least it's much more than what I got with the Honeywell. Again, this is at its maximum speed, and it matched the performance at its lowest speed compared to the Honeywell. The only downside is that it is quite loud at its highest setting. What I would say is the medium setting for this is much more tolerable, and it works just fine in our living room. Although you may so the only I really like this fan and would recommend this over this if you want more airflow, and if you really like quiet performance, then this makes sense. But again, at its lowest setting, this matches the speed of its at its highest setting. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you guys. Have a good day.